What's up, everybody? John Arapola here with my MMA news. And today's guest will be fighting Fairless Zim at UFC Vegas 49. That fight date is February 26th. And please be joined by Terrance McKinney here today. Terrance, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate the time.
Yes, sir, man. Let's get it, man.
All right, so before we get into the specifics of this fight, I do want to back up back to UFC 263. That was your UFC debut, and man, talk about a freaking debut there. That was sweet. 7-second knockout. That was a lightweight record in a debut fight there. So, I mean, great performance. How's your life kind of changed since that moment in time? Because that knockout went viral. The celebration afterwards went viral. It's picked you up a lot of fans. I mean, life's had to be great since then.
Yeah, I've been when I think about it sometimes, it's overwhelming, brings tears to my eyes just to see where God brought me from, man. Like, it's just incredible. And like, I'm seeing stuff like I'm about to be doing more than I thought I had, man. Like, so people, don't limit yourself. The opportunities are endless. Whatever you want to be, just know it's possible.
So the thing that was crazy, right, with the whole entire thing being viral, obviously the knockout was incredible, but the crazy part was the celebration afterwards also went viral, and that's because you ended up hurting yourself. What happened in that moment? Like, did you have anything like seriously wrong that happened there? Did you just kind of land on your leg awkwardly, like when you fell? Like, what happened there with that celebration? Do you plan on ever doing something like that ever again?
Yeah, you guys expect me to stay out the cage, so I strained my calf. Had some nerve damage in the back of my knee, but it was nothing serious. So I was back to training in like a couple weeks. Just did my physical therapy, did everything right, and I was back like that. No, everything was attached, no ligaments torn. So like, I was very blessed.
And now here we are, just a few days now away from your second UFC fight. You're in camp right now. How's camping going as you prepare for this?
Hey, great, man. I've been putting my all into this, man, and I'm ready to reap my hard work, and bring this victory home to my family.
So obviously now for this opponent, you've been preparing for quite some time. So backstory here, in case anybody forgot, you guys were scheduled to fight back in November, and then the fight had to get scrapped like last minute, right? Because what was it there? Now it was a corner man had COVID. So what happened exactly? The fight ended up getting pushed back.
A cornerman had COVID, even though we tested negative, I wasn't able to fight because I didn't have the vaccine. So,
well, at least now we're going to get to see this fight. I know it's been pushed back. When they, obviously pushed this back to now, did you stay active, get right back in the gym and kept training? Or did you kind of take a little breather that you went through camp and got ready and were cutting weight and then had this obviously happen, pretty much last minute there?
well, I was seeing if they can get me on a fight in December, but that wasn't possible. So I took like a week or two off, and then I got back to work.
So now that you've had all this time to prepare, tell us a little bit about your opponent, kind of what you've seen out of him as you've been preparing, and what you think it's going to take to get a victory on fight night.
I say he's very good at the basic stuff that he drills, like kicking, his jab. If you let him establish his rhythm and time, he'll pick you apart. And then I see guys have to force the wrestling, So, and they wait too long to keep the pressure on him. So, like, I know, like, he doesn't like to get hit. So I just know I got to land clean and then not back up, but keep the pressure on him. Make him not be able to reset and land his kicks,
So last year you had 4 fights, all 4 resulted in a finish. Probably gonna be a stupid question here, but are you going out there? Are you looking for a finish yet again here?
Yes, sir. It doesn't matter if that's the first, second, or third round. We're looking at the finish at all time. We're here to fight. I'm not here to go to decision. I'm here to kill or be killed.
So obviously you were very busy last year. Like I said, you got 4 fights in, obviously scheduled for a 5th one there. Is that the plan now here, the new year here in 2022? Do you plan on staying active like you were in 2021 and being busy?
Yes, sir. I plan on getting at least 3 more fights and being in the top 10 of UFC by the year, and those are my goals.
So when you're trying to be busy like this, I ask fighters this all the time because for now a few years of doing these interviews, I've talked to plenty of fighters where they said, you know what, I had this goal, I wanted to be busy, I wanted to stay active. they ended up overtraining, getting injured. So how do you exactly go about like executing this long-term plan here of staying busy, getting 3 more fights in, cracking the top 10, and obviously being able to keep your body healthy and be able to go through this sport that's so grueling like this?
Just making sure I take at least 2 weeks off. That's why I make sure my fights are like 2 to 3 months apart. So I have like 1 month to lay back and then 2 months to just grind. But like I said, I'll still be in the gym maybe like 2 to 3 times a week. Just nothing too crazy. But I like to always be in the gym. That's just who I am.
So when you say like you take 2 weeks off there, is that like a legit, like kind of like an old school mentality where you take 2 weeks off to just be, I don't say lazy and fat, but you get to kind of just relax and enjoy life without even think about fighting? Or are you in a 2 week period where it's, yeah, I'm still being active, but I'm not, might just only be maybe one session a day, not watch what you're eating?
Yeah, it's just maybe like one session, like I said, 2 to 3 times a week at that rate. I just want my body to rest, recover, you know. And like I said, also I make sure I'm going to chiropractor, just make sure I'm getting a massage, just make sure I'm really just taking recovery seriously. I'm starting this chiro therapy, which is nice, which makes it like better than the ice bath, which I'm excited to do. Just being a complete athlete, not just like a warrior. I got to take care of my body as well. Just make sure I'm hitting all aspects of the game.
And I'm glad you said complete athlete there, because I can tell you, if anybody goes to your Instagram and they see some of the videos you post, you are a freak athlete. The one that stood out to me, you posted this a few months ago. You did, if I had the dance move correctly, the moonwalk. Like, how in God's name did you pull something like that off? Like, have you always been this great dancer like that you could go off and do a moonwalk?
Yeah, I think that kind of what helps me with fighting, because I know how to move my feet and I know how to catch people rhythm, seeing how they're stepping. Like, I'm a very visual learner, because when I'm dancing, I have to see how to move and to figure out how to do it just like them. So like, it really, like a lot of events in my life, I know that God made happen for a reason, because it prepared me to be in this place I am right now, to fight all of it.
So, right, great dancer there. Will you celebrate a win by dancing inside of the octagon now, as opposed to doing backflips and hurting yourself like the last time?
It's time to realize I'm supposed to be here and not be surprised when I get it finished, and just act like I've been there before. Like my coach told me before, back in the day when I was in high school, he said, "Hey man, act like you've been before. You do the most," and I'm kind of trying to bring that back, act like I've been there before, no need to celebrate, this dude just put his life on the line in front of his family, I'm gonna go help that guy up.
So, Terrance, you've been extremely active in the headlines here all across every type of news wave recently here. So, you had a tweet that just kind of took off and went viral where you were sticking up for Joe Rogan. Of course, this whole Joe Rogan thing the last, last few weeks has just been like this huge, chaotic, like soap opera almost. Just talk a little bit about your tweet and the reaction that it got, and were you surprised at all that it took off the way how it did, and like big media outlets are picking it up the way how it happened?
I didn't think it would go off like that. I just feel like no one was speaking on it, and I just felt in my spirit it was the right thing to do, because I'm a person who used to be an addict and used to do drugs all the time, and I've said and done a lot of ignorant things that I wasn't proud of, and I didn't get to apologize like he did. So like, for him to do that, that's huge, because he could have just hit out, did whatever, hit his face, whatever, but he accepted what he did was wrong, and he apologized, man. So we got to respect from that. And if he was truly racist, he knew he made a mistake and he owned up to it, and I got to respect the guy for that, because I made a mistake and I'm finally able to own up to him. So I know what it feels like to have the world against you,
And do you think it's time that like the world kind of like chills out here a little bit, because like Joe Rogan has 12 million viewers a day for a reason. People like the product that he puts out. There's no reason to be going off trying to cancel him. Like, if you don't like the guest that day, don't watch it that day. If you don't like his podcast, don't listen to it. I feel like a lot of these issues that we've been seeing over the last few weeks with Joe Rogan is really not even necessary, because like I said, you don't like it, don't watch it. There shouldn't be this whole cancel Joe Rogan movement.
Yeah, and I know all of us said some racist jokes to our homies before when we were youngster. Like, I don't know, I ain't gonna lie, I said plenty of racist jokes and trying to be funny. Like, so people need to stop pointing fingers and point at themselves, you know?
So before one of your answers, the thing that caught me, and if I misquote you or anything, please correct me here. You were talking, if I heard you correctly, right, that you said you had a drug problem back in the day. You know, just talk about some of the struggles you had with that and kind of how you overcame that, because I never even knew that side about you there from the short stint of being able to cover you and watch you in the UFC here. I never knew this was a thing. Like, how did you overcome this drug addiction that you had?
Yeah, it started my freshman year of college. I was doing like 2 to 3 different drugs every weekend. I was doing the most, smoking pills, being out here reckless. Uh, End up taking viral acid and like overate the shrooms one night and dying twice.
So obviously that's a lot there. That's a lot of heavy stuff. When was the moment that you decided that you didn't want to be about that lifestyle anymore and you wanted to clean yourself up and go down the path that you went down?
When my mom brought my brothers to the hospital to see me and just seeing the look on their face is something I'm never going to forget.
So how did you then go about going down this right path? Did you have like a rehab that you had to go to, or did you just mentally flip that switch and came out of that hospital right then and there? Was, knew you weren't going to do it ever again?
It didn't happen over time. Like, recovery is a process, so it took time. You know, I did get my help and treatment that I needed. Also, I had to stop trying to please others and realize what's most important, and that's the people that's your family and the people around you that support you and telling you the things that you need to hear, even if it makes you mad. And that's what I had to realize, and that's what made me a better man today.
And we've seen this, over time with combat sports where people have had problems like you just said that you had and that you struggled with. And when they got into the combat sport of their choice, whether that's boxing or now into MMA even, that they said it's really changed their life and it's helped them so much to grow as a person and put that life behind them. Has MMA helped you with that? Was when you got involved with the sport, did it kind of help you to grow and kind of put that life that you had behind you that you just talked about?
Like I said, it helped, but mostly just without God, like I tell you guys, like none is possible. Like, he helped me realize the stuff that was hurting me and the stuff that I need to address to heal. And my family helped me address that and heal, and just talking through it. It's not good to hold in. And just mature myself and setting my pride aside, just to realize like I'm not the only one that went through or had something like that done. You never know unless you speak out. And that was true. That was a huge moment for me. It was detrimental.
Terrance, it's not an easy thing to overcome something like that. I know addiction and struggling with all that is a real issue. So God bless you. That's something that you did what you did there, and I'm glad that you're down the right road now and that things are going so great for you. It's great to see that. Great conversation here today too. A lot of different topics we talked on. One last thing now before you're all out here though, if you want to go ahead, plug your social media so fans will know where to follow you at if they're not following you already. Also, if you have any management, sponsors, coaches, teammates, friends, family, whoever you want to give a shout out to, floor is yours.
Yes, sir. I like to give a shout out to Warrior Camps, Irene Sports Agency. Shout out to my mom, Katara Johnson, and my family members who support me on the daily. And most importantly, shout out to God, because like I tell you guys, he paved the way for me, and he gave me a chance to share my story and be an inspiration to you guys. And shout out to my fans as well. I love you guys, you my brothers and sisters, and I'm going to keep on working hard till we get this belt.
All right, Terrance, thanks again so much for the time. Thanks for opening up to a lot about those topics that you opened up on. I know that's not easy to do, so thanks again. And thanks to the viewers out there for watching today's video. If you liked it, please go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And please go to MyMMANews.com to see all of our great work. Go to our social media pages, give us a like and a follow on there. And if you guys want to find me on Instagram or Twitter, I'm at John Eric Poli. We'll see you later, everybody.